iHeart Podcasts. Hear more Gold 101.7 podcasts,
playlists, and listen live on the free iHeart app.
You're listening to the Jonesy and Amanda podcast.
Who doesn't love Bret McKenzie? He is, of course, one half of the Kiwi musical comedy duo Flight of the Conchords. He's also the songwriting powerhouse behind the movies The Muppets. I found one of the songs in The Muppets, that's the one he won an Academy Award for, Man or Muppet, so moving I wept during it. Imagine crying in a Muppets movie. He's also done the music for Minecraft, the movie. He is a genius. Well, brace yourself. Soon he's heading across the Tasman to us to bring his tour to our shores, and he joins us now. Bret McKenzie, hello.
Hey, Jonesy. Hey, Amanda. Thanks for the intro.
I was going to do a roll call. I was going to say, okay, let's do a roll call, but I thought, if Bret's here,
that's right.
Amanda's here, Jones
no
is here.
Murray.
We can start the interview, but it's so great to talk to you. I must say, Flight of the Conchords was something that bonded me with my son and my nephew. Anyone around that age, it was something that we could all share as far as just phrases from the show and things like that. It was such a great show.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we were so lucky. A few people have come up to us over the years and said that it was one of those shows they could watch with their teenage kids or their kids, and then. Now those kids are adults; they've all grown up. But it was quite a cool show for connecting people. And I've got young kids now, and so I do know what they mean. Like when you find a show that everyone can watch together, it's such a win for the family. Yeah.
What are the phrases that people most quote to you from the show?
Bret, you've got it going on. It's often shouted across the street at me.
Because as long as it's business time.
Yeah, that's right. And then sometimes my name Bret, when the American, I got called Brit in America because of the accent and everything. And sometimes in America, I go into a cafe and order a takeaway coffee, and they say, "What's your name?" And I say Bret, and someone goes Brit, and I'm like, "No, Bret." And then it continues to play out, and you see someone on the line who's a Conchords fan. Can't believe that this is happening in real life.
Look at your big, open, beautiful face. Is it fun to play Gormless, or is Gormless also part of your personality?
I definitely lean into the TV show. We leant into being naive and not knowing what's going on. I think I am pretty open-minded to being, so naive is not the right word, but I'm open to things. I try to stay open and kind of, I haven't gone down the rabbit hole yet. I'm still, believe in humanity.
Yeah. But also you've composed so many. I didn't realize, I was just reading here that you composed from the Simpsons, Homer goes through the windshield.
Man, the Simpsons, so fun writing for the Simpsons, because you do the demo and then you email it off, and then it comes back and it's got the Simpsons singing it. It's so fun. Yeah, it's a really cool gig. Yeah. You've
won an Oscar, you've won a Grammy. Which is the one that people are most impressed by at a barbecue?
I would recommend winning an Oscar if you're looking for barbecue credibility.
Right.
Yeah, because I'd imagine
it's a handy one. It's a good one.
It'd be like that scene from Notting Hill. You're standing there and someone says, "So, what do you do?" And you say, "Well, I'm in the arts." And they go, "Oh, good for you."
Well
Have you earned a living?
Well done.
Well done.
That's right. I remember one time when I'd left, I did a lot of theatre at school and was in bands at school. And I remember I went to like a sort of traditional boys' college, like we wore uniforms and I remember when I was 19, I was at university and I got one of those student jobs, and the job I got was wearing a costume of a boat to promote the local ferry. And I was standing down in the business district in Wellington handing out flyers for the ferry. And I was like, oh, it's not bad. It's, $25 an hour or something. This is a good Saturday morning job. And then this guy walks up in a suit and he's like, "Bret, how's it going?" Hadn't seen me since school. And he was like, "Wow, you still doing the theatre type stuff?"
Yeah. At least you got a little tug. Boom, boom.
Yeah. I often think about that here. You go down to Circular Quay in Sydney and there's a dude, he was dressed up as Captain Cook for Captain Cook Cruises. And many a time after a few drinks, I've gone past it. I said, "Are you actually a mascot, or are you indeed Captain Cook? And you're trying to get back to your time, a bit like Kate and Leopold."
Yeah, no, he's a NIDA graduate who's cranky as hell.
The Nike shoes gave that away.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Right, yeah.
With your show, I mean, you're a comedian, you're a musician, you're a storyteller. What Bret do we get at the show?
Show, yeah, well, the tour, I'm bringing a giant band, an 8-piece band from New Zealand, and the show is a kind of live mixture of a music gig. So when the band kicks in, it's a full, sounds awesome. I've got like horns and backing singers, and the band's really cool. And then in between songs, I start telling stories from TV and film and, traveling and, anecdotes and stuff. And then I play a mixture of new songs from the records I've done, and then songs from Simpsons and Concords and Muppets. And the show really ends up being kind of a mixture of music. It really is a mixture of music and comedy. Like the audience is laughing, but then they're also being swept away by music. So that's the kind of world where I love to play in. Yeah.
With the Muppets, I mean, you've worked with Celine Dion and obviously Kermit and Tony Bennett. Who was the most impressive? The one you went, the pinch me moment, and someone who lived up to being a hero?
Ooh, I did a session with Mickey Rooney on the Muppets, and that was that was crazy because he was in his 90s, and we had this one line. We needed him to come into the studio and sing this one line, and I mean, that's just someone who is so part of Hollywood history. That's like so deep, It was amazing. He walked in, and what was bizarre was he couldn't sing the part. His daughter was like looking after him, and he had to take his false teeth out because they were creating a weird harmonic sort of tone in the recording. So it was kind of amazing. And then I remember we did a couple of takes, and when you're in a studio, you go, okay, that sounds great. Now could you do it with a bit more energy or give it something? And he goes, oh, no, I think you've got it. And then he stepped away from the microphone. I was like, yep, well, if Mickey Rooney thinks is done, then you're done.
Yeah, sometimes
put your teeth back in and head on out.
Yeah.
Here's your polydent, mate. Off you go.
Yeah, he was great. And then I did a session with Lizzo. That was also really cool. She's so funny. She was doing The Simpsons, doing a song on The Simpsons, and she's super funny, but also just sings like you'd imagine and sounds. Sometimes you write a song and someone who's like that sings it, and it's so cool hearing something that you've written transcend with an amazing singer like that. It was cool.
Oh, living the dream, Brett.
Well,
it does sound wonderful.
It's just cool just to even talk to you. And of course, the new album Freak Out City is out, and you're coming to town. It's just going to be great to see you. And you've got your band. The band's not Split Ends, is it? By any chance, you could kill two birds with one.
Yeah. There's a couple of other New Zealand bands.
We will claim them as our own if you don't mind, Brett. Thank you.
Yeah, great.
Brett, it's so good to talk to you. For tickets
so
and tour information, head to tegdainty.com.au. Bret McKenzie, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you when
soon.
you're here. Thanks, Brett.